So hi, we are from Group 4 of S1G2. We will be presenting our project for BITP1223 System Analysis and Design. Our project is the ABC Driving School Management System, where a system designed to streamline and digitalize the day-to-day operations of a driving school, covering everything from a student registration and lesson scheduling, all the way to the progress tracking and payment processing. Well, throughout this presentation, we will walk you through our system analysis process. So without any further, let's begin. So now I will introduce you our group members. First of all, we have Nur Nazira binti Abdul Rahman. Next, we have Nur Natasha binti Razali, Natasha Nabila Anak Ngazi, Maisara binti Muhammad Nur. And lastly is Muhammad Daniel bin Muhammad Taib.
Moving on to our development approach, we choose the traditional waterfall methodology for this project. We select the waterfall methodology because this is the original structure design methodology. Other than that, this methodology has requirements identified early such as student registration, lesson scheduling, and payment process. The waterfall model consists of 6 distinct phases that flow sequentially from top to bottom. First phase is planning. Planning is we identify objectives, scope, stakeholders, feasibility, budget, and timeline for automating driving school operation. Second phase is analysis. Analysis is gather requirement for student registration, lesson scheduling, and payment processing. Next, we have logical design. Logical design is design system processes, which is the FD, IRD, use case diagram, and define relationship among student, instructor, course, lesson, and payment. Phases number 4 is physical design. Physical design is designing database tables, user interfaces, system architecture, and choose technologies such as MySQL and Secure Payment Gateway. Number 5 phases is implementation. Implementation is develop the module, test the system, deploy it, migrate data if needed, and train administrators, instructors, and students. The last one is maintenance. Maintenance is fix bugs, enhance security, improve performance, update payment services, and add new features based on user feedback. Now, let's discuss the project charter, which is foundational document that formally authorizes our project. It contains 6 critical components that guide our entire project execution. For our project title is Driving School Management System. Our project manager is Muhammad Daniel bin Muhammad Taib. For the problem statement for our project is ABC Driving School currently manage the student registration, scheduling lesson, and payment records manually, such as written form. This will lead to the scheduling conflict, delayed payment verification, and difficulty on student record keeping and student progress. For our project objective is we want to develop an online registration system, automate lesson scheduling, manage instructors assignment, track student progress, and process online payment securely. For our problem statement, ABC Driving School currently manage the student registration, scheduling lesson, and payment records manually, such as written form. For our project scope, we have 2 project scope, which is include the scope and out of the scope. For include the scope is student registration, student login, course management, lesson scheduling, attendance record, progress tracking, online payment processing, email or SMS notification, administrative dashboard, and report generation. Next, for the stakeholders in project charter, administrator will manage student, instructions, and report. While student register course, book lesson, make payments, and view progress. And the last one for instructor, they will conduct lesson, update attendance, and submit progress report. And the last one is constraint. Constraint is limited project development time, limited project budget. The system must be completed within 1 academic system, must comply with data privacy and security requirement, and the system will initially support only web-based access.
Now, this is our work breakdown structure. We start with requirement analysis and project proposal because these two have no dependency. Requirement analysis take 1 week and project proposal take 2 weeks. After requirement analysis finish, we move to analysis phase, which take 2 weeks. From here, we do 4 things together: context diagram, DFD level 0, DFD level 1, and EERD because all of them depend on analysis phase. Next, we do input design and output design, 2 weeks each. Then testing, which take 3 weeks because this is the most important part to check everything is correct. At the same time, we also prepare final report and presentation slides, 4 weeks each. Last step is project submission, which takes 2 weeks. This is our Gantt chart. It shows how all the tasks happen across the weeks. Requirement analysis and project proposal start in week 1. Then analysis follow after. After that, we do context diagram, DFD level 0, DFD level 1, and EERD close together. Then we continue with input design, output design, and testing. Final report and presentation slide happen at the same time to save time. Last, we finish with project submission in the final week. On the right side, you can see our project structure. It has 5 phases: planning, system analysis, system design, system testing, and documentation and delivery. This helps us stay organized until the project finish.
Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Nur Natasha binti Azali. Today I will present about the context diagram for ABC Driving School Management System. The context diagram shows the interaction between the system and the external entity. There are 3 external entities, which are student, instructor, and payment gateway. First, the student send the registration form to the system. After the registration is complete, the system return the login credentials to the student. Next, the system sends the student information to the instructor, while the instructor sends back the progress report after monitoring the student performance. Lastly, for payment, the system sends a payment request to the payment gateway, and the payment gateway returns the payment status to the system. Next, I will explain the DFT level 0. DFT level 0 breaks down the main system into 5 major processes. Process 1. Student registration. The first process is student registration. The student submit the registration detail to the system. After the registration is verified, the system generate the login credential for the student. Process 1. Student registration. The first process is student registration. The student submit the registration detail to the system. After the registration is verified, the system generate the login credentials for the student. The student information is then stored in D1, which is student data. The second process is lesson schedule. The student send a lesson request. The system schedule the lesson and return the lesson schedule to the student. The schedule is saved in D2, which is lesson schedule. Process 3 is instructor management. The third process is instructor management, which the system provides student detail to the instructor. The instructor update the student lesson outcome and progress report. The instructor related information is stored in D3, which is instructor record. The fourth process is process tracking. The process receives information from the lesson schedule and the instructor record. It updates the student progress and store it in D4, which is progress record. The student can also view the progress information. Finally, the final process is payment process. The student submit the payment information and the system send a payment request to the payment gateway. After the payment is verified, the payment gateway return the payment status. Finally, the system generate a payment receipt for the student and store the payment information in D5, which is payment record.
So here is our DFD level 1 diagram, which breaks down from the process 2.0, lesson scheduling, from our level 0 diagram into 4 more detailed sub-processes. It begins with the sub-processes 2.1, which is view available lesson. When a student wants to book a lesson, they send a lesson request into the system. This sub-process retrieves and displays the available lessons for the student to choose from. Once the student makes a selection, a student's can request is passed to the sub-processes 2.2, which is check the instructor availability. Here, the system verifies whether the chosen instructor is free for the requested time slot. Once if a slot is available and passed forward, the confirmed slot will move to the 2.3, which is assign the lesson slot. The system formally assigned the lesson to both the students and the instructor and output the lesson details, which include the date, time, instructor name, and the location. And finally is 2.4, which is send confirmations notification, which is receive the student request and sends a notification to inform the student that their lesson is accepted by the system.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Daniel bin Muhammad. My metric number B02251023. So, in this case, I will explain about the entity relationship diagram. For our driving school system, this ARD basically show how each piece of data in our system is connected to one another. We have 7 main entities, which is number 1 student, instructor, lesson booking, lesson slot, progress, and lastly payment. Looking at the left side, we have the student entity, which is it store the student information such as name, email, phone number, password, and also address. Each student has a student ID as the primary key to uniquely identify them. The student then makes a lesson booking, which is in there we store the booking ID, student ID, slot ID, booking date, and confirmation status, whether the booking has been confirmed or not. This booking is then booked via a lesson slot, which is basically an available time slot. The lesson slot connected to both lesson and instructor, since every slot has an assigned instructor and a lesson type. Whether it's basic driving, parking, or highway driving. On the right side, we have the instructor entity, which is storing their name, email, phone, and area of specialization. Instructor has a relationship with a lesson slot, since they are the one who conduct the lesson. Instructor and the student are also connected through the progress entity, used to track each student learning progress. In progress, we record the outcome and the progress data, so we can see how far along the student is in their driving training. Lastly, we have the payment entity, which is linked to student. Every time student make a payment, the system store the amount, payment date, status, and also the receipt as a proof of payment. So overall, this ARD show how all the data from student registration, lesson booking, to payment and progress all are connected and stored systematically in our database. Next, we go to the input-output design, which is for our enrollment system, which is the driving school registration form. For input design, we design all enrollment form divided into 3 main tabs, which is personal, schedule, and payment, to keep the registration process organized and easy to follow. In the personal tab, user fill in basic information such as first name, last name, email, phone number, and date of birth, and also the address. We also include a section for this information, whether they already have a learning permit or not, as well as an emergency contact as an added safety measure. We user move to the schedule tab, they can select their preferred start date. This day, the day of the week they work of them. For example, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. And their preferred time, whether morning, afternoon, or evening. For the payment lab, users select their payment method, which is they can choose whether credit or debit card, bank transfer, or cash on arrival, and fill in card details such as the name on card number, and expiring date. Now let's move on to the output design. After the submit the form, the system will generate an enrollment summary, a confirmation summary of their registration. Here, user can review the student information, enrollment, date, their schedule, lesson, required document, as well as contact information for driving school in case they have any question. So with a clear and well-organized input and output design like this, we hope the registration process for the driving school become easier, faster, and more user-friendly for all new students. That's all for me. Thank you.